Steak and taters. Very easy to do. Let's get into it. Now I got these Weber lighter cubes I like to use to get my chimney going on my charcoal. So we're gonna start that because it's gonna take a little bit to get them heated up. You are not going to need a lot for this recipe. I'm using Kent Rollins Red River Ranch Seasoning Original. He's a very cool cooking YouTuber. Check him out, Kent Rollins. And some Worcestershire, whatever you want to call it. And that's what we're gonna season our steaks with. We're also gonna season our taters with this seasoning as well. Kent Rollins, you're the man. First, we're gonna cut up these taters. I don't have a very good knife for this. Should be fine. Now, I like to keep the skin on my taters. For one, it's less work, and two, it's less work. So we got all of our taters cut up here. We're gonna take some Kent Rollins Red River Ranch Original Seasoning, and we're just gonna sprinkle it on there. Don't be shy. This stuff is good. All right, season the backside. Don't need too much. Seasoning is very good. Got us some nice heavy-duty foil here. The thing about cooking, guys, is I want to say this a lot in my cooking videos while Champ's back there barking. You're never going to have a good steak without having a bad steak. So I might mess these up. They might be the best steaks I've ever ate. We're going to find out. Now we got double foil here, and I'll show you why in a minute. We're going to put our taters in here. We're going to cook these on the grill first, on my gas grill, my Oklahoma Joe's gas side. Tablespoon and a half of some butter. Yoink! And about a little bit of a half. So the idea is we're actually baking these on our gas side of our grill. Give them a good wrap. I got my Oklahoma Joe's over here. It's on a low heat. We're pushing about almost 300. So I only have one burner ignited on here. We're gonna put it on the side that does not have the burner. This is the burner side. It's got 3. We're gonna place it away from the burner because we don't want the direct heat burning our taters. Super simple. Using this Worcestershire as a binder. Don't need a whole lot. These are some pretty thin cuts of meat. Get you a little bit of seasoning, give it a nice little sprinkle. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. We're not going to get into specifics here because I'm not too picky with my steaks. Obviously I don't want it dry, but I don't want it still breathing, so as you can see here, our charcoals they're getting there, but they're not there yet. Don't breathe this in, guys. Don't do it. So at about this point, because I still want some fresh charcoal on the actual fire when I'm doing this, I'm gonna pour it right now. And be very careful when you do this. You can get a lot of ash that kicks up. I probably should be wearing my gloves for this. Yeah. Jack Daniels, don't let me down now. The grate on this kettle opens on both sides, so it gives me a little bit of leeway to throw some chips in. So I'm gonna get my gloves on and then throw some chips in. Since I don't have the steaks on there yet, it makes me want to throw up, like remind me of my party days. We're gonna put some chips on here. We're not gonna throw them on there. We're gonna sprinkle them around, get some smoke going. It won't take very long. That is very hot. Get some smoke going, and then we'll get our steaks going as well. Kind of doing like a circular pattern with the thick side closer to my coals. Thick side. This one's really not too much of a thick boy. And then our last piece, throw it right on there. Whew. And I'm going to position my vent on this side so the smoke travels through my meat and not my grill. Put our lid on there. Like I said, the smoke's going to travel where our meat is sitting. It won't take very long, so I'll keep you updated in about 2 minutes. So it's been about 2-3 minutes. Let's give them a little check here. I'm usually, when I'm cooking steaks or fajitas, I look for them to sweat a little bit on top. We're not there yet, so I'll give them a couple more minutes and we'll flip them. We're sitting around 400 as well for a tater, so we're gonna give them a little peek here. Again, gloves are recommended for stuff like this. It's very hot. I don't know if you can tell in there. We're just looking for some softness. We don't want them to be too soft to where they fall apart. We're getting there. I probably should have put these on a lot sooner than I did my steaks, but you live and you learn. I'm not perfect, and you're not either. Don't lie. So it's been about 2 or 3 more minutes, so we're gonna give them a little peek again without letting out too much heat. Ooh, almost ready for a flip in. See how they're starting to turn color, get a little bit of brown? Yeah, that's what we like, that's what we want. It's about that time where we're gonna flip them. I'm gonna add a few more wood chips, just because it looks cool, and I want a little bit more flavor in there. Give it a nice little flip there. Got some good color. Not a lot of charring. We don't want to cook these too long because they're not that thick. But they're still going to do the job. And that's what she said. Gonna check on these bad boys here. Like I said, they're not very thick. Not going to take very long. And if you can see right here, this one's starting to curl up. That's a good indication that it's probably done already. So we don't want to overcook these for you guys. So let me get some foil over here. When you're cooking any kind of meat, it's heating up, it's sweating. All of the juices are trying to get out. Oh yeah. All of the juices are trying to get out. So the purpose of resting them is essentially giving the steak, this one's a little thick, I might leave it on about one more minute just to be safe. When you're resting your steak, you're letting it get slowly cooled down. These juices are going to come back into it because that heat is pushing it out. So we're just going to let it rest right here. Like I said, 1 more minute on that thick boy. That was the thickest of the bunch. So we're going to let that meat rest there. We're not going to cut into it just yet. So, ow! I'll probably be able to show you guys the taters. Not together with the steak, but we're gonna let this steak rest. I almost tripped over my lid. So it's been about 5 minutes. Like I said, this meat isn't very thick, so it shouldn't take very long here. Let it rest for a little bit. Let's get this big boy out of here. Oh, grabbed too many. So, in terms of the knife I'm using here, I'm being super extra right now. You really don't need something like this. I'm gonna try my best to cut against the grain as I would cutting a brisket. I'm not sure. It's definitely soft. We basically cooked some fajitas the way I'm cutting them right now. Like I said, guys, the taters are not ready yet, but we'll learn in time. So this is the thickest part of the meat here. I don't want to taste this bad boy. So this is a nice little piece of meat here. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. You probably wish you were here. It's soft. It's juicy. It's not over seasoned. Tastes a little bit of that smoke in there. That's fucking awesome. That is awesome, guys. Got a good friend of mine, Mark, who has gave me a lot of pointers with cooking, and you're never gonna know until you try it. You're never gonna cook a good steak without cooking a bad steak, which I actually did last weekend. I was cooking in the dark. Let's just say overcooked them a little too much, but we learned from last week, and the steak is looking awesome. So again, see if the GoPro can pick it up here. It's nice. It's not too overcooked. This is a nice piece right here. I'm gonna eat it. You know I am. Give it a nice little rip. It was a little tough, but that was really good. Apollo, you are so dirty. And that's my pit bull yiping at his rock over there. Can you chill out? I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm a little bummed out my taters aren't done yet, but we're gonna wrap up this video. With that being said, liking the video was always appreciated. Subscribing is free, and you stay sweaty out there.